Pete, welcome to the Dr. Tom Show. I am so excited to have you on. We met several years ago, and you just the funnest guy I think I've met. And having watched you over the last few years on Facebook and your videos, you've brought a lot of laughter to my life, but also knowing your backstory, you've brought a lot of inspiration to my life. And I'm so pleased that our audience get to hear some of that today. If you're listening to the podcast, you're not watching on YouTube, go and watch on YouTube, because you see I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat and I haven't even started. And I'm excited to hear what Pete's got to offer. So Pete, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me, mate. Thank you. And it's funny, you mentioned backstory. That's how we first met, Tom, wasn't it? You were cracking me back.
Hey, no, there you go. Absolute comic from the start. It absolutely was. So, starting with your story, why don't you, we've had the formal intro, but just give our audience an authentic view of where you've really come from and where you are now, because it's really quite inspiring.
Okay, so I come from. Oh, there's a fly, buzzing around in my house there.
It's not as bad as the saw going in the background, no, exactly. Which we are assured is not going to be in the podcast. Anyway,
so I grew up in Taunton. Went to study hospitality at college. Then went off and started working in different pubs and restaurants. Fast forward a little bit, we started working for a recruitment agency. Then Chloe and myself, my wife, we went traveling around the world for 14 months. And where started, I suppose at that point, started realizing that we wanted to create our own future. And I think when we were traveling around, we were thinking more, actually it'd be nice to have a little guest house on the beach, because you obviously sat in a guest house and thinking, well, we could do this a little bit better by doing this, this and this. Fast forward to 2009, we started our business, because we came back to the UK. And it was recruitment agency that specializes in catering staff. And I mean, what's that? So 11 years we turned in April this year. And I suppose over those 11 years, I've grown as a person. I've learned lots of different sort of techniques when it comes to sort of positive mental attitude and habits, etc. And it's, I just think what's happened recently. Can I go to recently now?
Let's go to recently now.
Yeah. So, where we supply chefs, it's obviously we're recording this in lockdown at the moment, and hospitality is opening on Saturday. Yay! I don't know if that's going to help us, but yay! And I've just sort of, rather than, I suppose, the first week of just realizing that our business went from, we literally lost our whole business overnight, if I'm honest. And being the sort of person I am, rather than going, oh, this is crap, this is bad thing, worst thing that can ever happen, and just getting really, really down. And don't get me wrong, there were days where both Chloe and myself were like that. We've taken this opportunity, both of us, to rediscover some passions and some purpose that we've got. And one of the things that I've been doing for the last 3 years is I'm a laughter yoga leader. And it's just something that, I mean, I can touch on laughter in a minute. I'm sure you're going to ask me a few questions on that. So, but sort of pre-laughter yoga, I've been doing a thing called You Can. Pete Cann is my name. So if Pete can, you can. And it's all about, look, if I can do this, you can do this, because I'm just a guy from Taunton in Somerset. I'm nobody special. But I've created all these different routines, these different habits, these on a daily basis that's created the person I am today. And I think what's happened in the last sort of 3 months, everything's just compressed and moved me into this space where I'm just like, actually, I'm doing what I want to do. I really am doing what I want to do every day, talking to people like you on podcasts, creating my own podcasts, creating my own content, doing my videos, running laughter sessions. And, when the chef agency does take off again, which it will, it's all good, because I've actually learned some other skills that I can bring into that as well as we move forward. That's a long answer.
But that's a brilliant answer. And what I think you've really shown is that Pete Can, You Can is the main theme in that, because let's be honest, the majority of people who go and study hospitality stay in that sort of smaller end of hospitality, don't they? And there's so much potential in that pot. Before we move to Today in Laughter, what do you think it was when you were traveling that inspired you to go, you know what, let's do something different? Is there anything you can think that really sort of stimulated that thought?
I think it was the fact that we didn't work for 14 months. We saved a lot of money before we went away, and we came back with quite a lot of debt on credit cards as well. But Chloe and I didn't work for 14 and a half months. And I think it was that freedom that made us, well, we just had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to sort of watch how other people, I mean, you know, just learning things about how other people live. You know, we you know, so many developing countries we went to, and just realizing that.
Can you hear the saw? You know, the sound guy's going to cut this out so well that people are going to think, what are those guys even talking about? but if you can still hear the saw, I'm sorry about the saw.
So I think it's when we were traveling, I can't remember what the question was now, Tom.
So the question was, well, you said because you didn't work for 6 months, you saw a different side. And I suppose that's true. We go to school, we go to college, we go to work, we get bored with that work, we find the next work, the pressure's on to get to the next job, and we never actually stop. And I suppose this is what laughter actually encourages you to do, is to stop in that moment and just enjoy the moment that you're in.
Yeah. So that was exactly. So whilst we were away, we didn't work. We had time to just think. And they actually, you know, I'll be honest, there was times when we were bored, and it's like, wait there, we were sat on a beach and we were bored, and that's just like, what? That's crazy talk. But that we had so much time on our hands that we were just hammering, and we were just.
I'm glad I'm doing this with someone who's got a sense of humour.
So yeah, I mean, having lots of time on our hands, and just then thinking as we were going around, going, actually, we want more of this. And I suppose when we got back from traveling, you know, I went back to my old job for I was in there for 2 months. It was right in the middle of recession, 2009. I got laid off straight away, and it was like, right, what can I do? And I was like, well, actually, let's start up our own thing. And you know, for the first probably 2 years, we had some sort of holiday time, but we started building it, and you know, we got it to the point where we took a month off 2 years ago to go to America for a month. We've created that lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle business, but it is, because we've given ourselves time to go and like keep the adventure running, really.
So what would you say to people who say you just got lucky? Like, you know, I can do that. Like, how, you know, what would you say to them?
Lucky? Nah,
I know.
Think so.
I know, but this is what you get. Like, people, you've obviously worked hard. And what I liked at the start is you didn't say that you've done all this to create this business. You said you've done all this to create habits for you. And it's essentially you first that's then created the success that you've had.
Yeah.
So what are some of these habits that you've put in place? What are they?
So I think okay, I've got a morning routine. I'll wake up. I get up at 5 a.m. At
Perfect.
5 o'clock. First thing I do is come down. Well, first thing I do, brush my teeth, drink a pint of water. Then I'll come down. I'll put my meditation on. And that varies between 10 and 20 minutes, depending on which meditation I'm listening to. I journal daily. I've got some affirmations that I run through. I visualize what my future is going to look like, and then I'll do some exercise. So whether that's a little bit of yoga, I say little bit because sometimes I stretch once and think, yep, that's exercise done. So you know, I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm like the ultimate warrior, I suppose, but you know, I am training for the London Marathon at the moment, so I am getting out and running.
I've seen it; it's impressive.
Yeah, so which again, it's like I quickly, if I just go off on a tangent there, it's this is Chloe, my wife. You know, she's inspired me by watching her over the years running. She's run the London Marathon twice. The first time it was just, I was a bit like, oh, that's amazing. But the last time I did, I just remember this one guy right near the end, big. He was a big lad. He was a big bit of lad running, and I was just like, if he can do that, I can do that. And
Yes.
that was it in my head. It's like, right, I can do this. And you know, with Chloe's support, it's been amazing, just sort of helping me sort of get that training routine together. And obviously once it was postponed, everything, like I'll be honest, I stopped running for probably about 6 to 8 weeks nearly, just because I was like, right, I don't need to trek, because I didn't have the deadline. I didn't have that this is coming. So but actually going back onto it, I am running again quite regularly, so which is nice. So that's like my morning habits. And then recently I've started evening habits as well. So I will, most nights I'll have a hot bath. I'll switch my phone off from 9 o'clock. So like I've got no screen time, and don't get me wrong, I've only just started doing this, Tom. I'm on day 16 now. But I won't have a screen. Then I'll have meditation, 20 minutes again before I get into bed. I've got a little journal at the end of the day, and I'm tracking certain things. So I'm not on sugar at the moment.
Great.
I make sure I do over 10,000 steps. And again, there's days that I don't. There's days that I've done 4,000 steps, but I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just conscious that the next day I need to I need to go and do some running, or I need to walk somewhere. And I think that's the other thing, is just tracking things. So, I've got my book, and I'll show you, and I'll tell you exactly. So, funny enough, today I'm on 100 days unbroken chain of laughing every day. I've 128 days no drinking, 23 days of being a vegan, and 6 days of no sugar. So these are things that I track, and I don't want to break that chain. But if I do, I don't sit there and wallow. I just go, okay, that's all right. Why? And then move.
But that's so important to, like, a lot of people set these audacious goals or can't understand why they haven't achieved anything in life. And it's because they haven't done any tracking, because they haven't actually planned it. And I suppose that's one of the biggest habits that you've got, is you're looking at your plan, you're looking at where you're going. And how audacious is your plan? I mean, are you setting small achievable goals? Like those SMART goals, I get maybe cringe when people talk about SMART goals. Or are you setting bigger goals? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So I've got a couple of goals in my mind at the moment, and the big driver that I'm getting up for at the moment, and the visualization, is San Francisco, 1,000 people, off stage, laughter presentation. So whether that's a keynote or whether it's running a laughter session from stage. So that's my big goal. And the other goal I've got, obviously, is London Marathon. Is happening in October. So that's quite a big goal, to run for 4.5 hours, 5 hours non-stop. And I think also, I'm tracking my waistline as well. Yeah. And that's something that is just disappearing, funny enough. You go out and run for 12 miles, things start moving.
Kind of works, doesn't it? Amazing.
So yeah, and I think everything else, you just get into that flow state when everything else starts moving. You know what makes you feel good, Tom.
Yeah.
And you know what makes you feel bad as well. And
yes.
It's just, I suppose, being aware of that, just going, well, actually, do you know what? Today I feel my belly feels a bit funny. And again, I'm a firm believer that your stomach is your second brain. If your stomach's not playing the game, because maybe you drank something or you ate something a bit not great, then your stomach's playing and you can't think clearly because it's playing up. So, yeah.
And why San Francisco?
Why San Francisco? Because I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of a cheaty one in here because I've got a good friend that lives in San Francisco.
Perfect.
So it could be, not that I'm sort of, that's my in. I don't know. He works for EA. Yes. So if you're listening, Sim, then
I love it. I love it.
So, but it'd be nice. I mean, I say it to Chloe and I've said it to the kids. It's just like, how cool would life be to have like a phone call from somebody from San Francisco to say, look, Pete, I've seen your stuff. I really like what you're doing. I'd love for you to come and keynote in our, at our conference, or even be the warm up for our event. Or even in the graveyard shift straight after lunch, that would be a great time to get a bit of laughter, to get everybody spiking again. And but then them to say, right, we're going to pay you X amount of money. And I go to Chloe, I go, well, look, I've just been paid X amount of money. And they pay for my flight, but actually that X amount of money will pay for us, the family, to go. So let's go for 2 weeks to San Francisco. Chloe, first thing she said is like, yeah, of course, we're up for it. So, it's creating, I don't want to be flying all the time, going everywhere all the time, but there's little, if I could get paid to go, I've been around the world, Tom. I've been to a lot of places, and actually to go and I suppose be flown to do this talk would be amazing. And I know you've done a few things yourself, so it's makes you
I
feel
certainly
special.
can see that coming to fruition for you. I really can. And I can just see the excitement in your face when you're talking about it. And like, it is a lot. It is something that people put down. I really don't think they should. Is you should be valued and appreciated for doing what you love, and it's not wrong to want to be acknowledged and praised for what you do. Yet we have, especially in the UK, we have this sort of inverse snobbery around that, where I should do this for the sake of doing it and not want to be praised for doing it. And I think, San Francisco, I've only been there for 12 hours to go from meeting in and out. So I would recommend that you take a week, because from what I saw in a short space of time, it's definitely worth it. So laughter, like 1,000 people laughing, like tell me when it's happening. I'm flying out. I'm coming. But tell me why laughter? Why laughter?
Why laughter? So there's a couple of. Let me tell you how I've discovered it. That's probably the first thing. So laughter yoga is a thing, and so I was at WOMAD Festival 4 years ago, walking through the Arboretum, heard laughter, and I thought, oh, there's the comedian. And I like to laugh, and so I've sort of walked around the corner, and there's 200 people just lying on the floor, just laughing for no reason. There's a guy in the middle, who I found out later was called Curly Steve, running the session. And then so the next day I was like, right, I found out it was laughter yoga. Had a little look on the sign. It said tomorrow 11 o'clock. I thought, pop over. Went and did this whole session, and it just blew my mind how I finished this whole laughter session, and that when people are lying down, it's at the end of the session, and all this natural laughter just comes. You can't stop laughing, and we'd be lying next to each other, Tom, and like one of us would stop laughing, and then all the other one needs to just do a little grunt or a little snort, and then that just sets you off again. And like those days when you were at school and you couldn't stop laughing, and you shouldn't be laughing, but you just can't help laughing, and it releases all those positive endorphins and the dopamine. Everything was spiking, and I walked away from that session just going, and I remember going up to Chloe. I was just going, I've just done laughter. It's amazing, Chloe. I felt high just on this thing that was within me, and so the following year, I went and did every single session he had on. He had a little session on the TP, just really starting to get to know Steve, and ended up learning. And then last year at WOMAD, I was, because Steve didn't want to do WOMAD anymore after 7 years, I ran it. I did the session. I had 200 people around me laughing. Wow. I did this Mexican laugh. It was just like, and again, it was just... it ticked a lot of my boxes, Tom. I've been a DJ. I like entertaining or bringing people together, and laughter was just all of a sudden I found a way that I could be myself, share something that's very powerful to people, and make people feel good about themselves, with this tool that I really, really believe in. And so now I'm just literally just driving as much as I can, just going, you've got to try this laughter yoga. It's amazing.
So who's it for? Like, who is it for? Everybody? Like, if you could pick 2 demographics of people who could really benefit from it, who you'd love to help, who would they be?
So at the moment, I would say my demographic that I'm really sort of aiming towards are business owners that have got their team's well-being in mind, because there's people, especially we're in lockdown, there's people that are working from home, that may be even working from their bedroom because they're in a shared house. They're answering phone calls to people that are obviously all anxious and stressed. That's just going straight into their safe space, and I want to reach out to them to say, look, this is a tool that you can use to release that anxiety, release that stress, and just make yourself feel good, even if it's because the thing is as well, if you laugh for sort of 10 to 15 minutes, that actual buzz will last 24 hours. It will just stay with you. I'm not saying you're just going to be giddy and laugh for the rest of the day, but you naturally feel released and high from it. And it's so that's demographic number 1, and I think demographic number 2 is just people that just I suppose just again, it's like need to release some anxiety and some stress. That's what it is. I've been running laughter sessions online since lockdown. I was doing it before lockdown, but since lockdown, the four of us joined together called the Daily Giggle channel on Facebook, and every night at 7 p.m. I do a half an hour session, and I've got people from New York, Italy, or Rome in Italy. I've got people from Spain joining, and they all come along, and sometimes there's only like 6 or 7 of us, but we laugh, genuinely laugh, to a point where we're crying with laughter. Then I do a nice grounding meditation at the end, just everybody just nice and calm and relaxed, and I've had people that have gone from sort of initially being dark in the shadows and just really shy about doing it, to actually then they've lit their face up. You can just naturally see them smile when they come to the screen, and oh mate, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful.
Wow. So help someone get started. Like, do you need a joke, or do you just start? Like, just show us how you get started.
Okay, so laughter, it's not about a joke. I'm not like I have, I suppose naturally I'm quite a funny type character anyway, but the thing is, laughter is a breath. That's all it is. So for yourself, Tom, and any listeners, so if you put your hands out in front of you with your palms up, and we're just breathe, going to take a deep breath in to our shoulders, and then we're just going to slowly exhale, just okay, so that's a calm breath. So the next time we're just going to let out a long ha. So take a deep breath in, and we're going to go ha. And now this time we're going to let out 3 ha's on the way out. So we go deep breath in, and we're going to go ha, ha, ha. And this time we're going to, on the way out, we're just going to let out a ha, 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 as long as we can. Okay, so deep breath in. And ha, 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 take a deep breath in, hold it, and you should already feel. Are you feeling?
I love laughter, and it's just I don't know. The problem is I laugh like Muttley the dog when I get going.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant, mate.
It's so simple, isn't it? No one's ever said that. Just gotta compose myself. No one has ever said that laughing is just a breath before. Which is, it makes it so simple. Like if you tell someone they're grumpy, you know, I can't laugh while you're breathing, so just take it one stage further.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, you know, someone said, I don't laugh. It's just like, well, just go, ha. And it's just, yeah, but I suppose with laughter yoga, there's different exercises. Yeah. So you've got this phone, the giggle phone, where you pretend it's the funniest thing you've heard all day, and you're just forcing out this laughter. But as long as the main thing is to try and get the laugh from the stomach, because that's the real authentic, the ho, 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 because you're getting your diaphragm moving up and down on the lungs. It's also massaging all of those organs inside, because, you know, they don't get a workout. We're out running or whatever. Your internal organs do not get a workout. So if you're going, so we'll try it, Tom. So take a deep breath in. And
Phil is going to wonder. But oh my god. But it's the soul. For me, that's the soul. Like that's what you're working on. And you know, and we're going to talk about purpose in a second. The soul and your purpose are intrinsically connected. And like, what a better way to get to your purpose than actually through the soul. God, I feel good. These builders people are going to wonder what we're talking about. They can't hear the saw, can they? Right on cue. So please, before we just can't stop laughing, purpose. Like, why is purpose important? And, you know, you set up a really successful chef recruitment business, and now you've gone into laughter, and it's made you think more about purpose. Talk to me a bit about your purpose and why it's important for people to understand that.
I think thing is, if you've got a purpose, if you know when you've got a purpose, because like nothing feels hard to do. Naturally, I suppose the purpose for me is that if I can make or help one person laugh a day, then that's a tick. That's a tick for me. And today, Tom, you are, congratulations, Tom, you're that one person.
Yes.
but purpose is it just drives you, and it just means that you've got something to get up for in the morning, and it's just something that it's, would you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for just something that you didn't really care for? I don't think you would. I think it'd be easy just to go, do you know what, snooze. And it's, I think so. Where the purpose for me, I have got successful business. I have, but what I've done also over the years is learned so much in different tips, everything, marketing, just getting myself out there as a business, and all of a sudden I'm being able to go, I've learned all these skills. This is my purpose now. My purpose is to get me out to the masses, but sharing something that I really believe in, and it's a whole. I just love it, Tom. I love it, honestly. It's just, and it's going to, at some point, it will come into a point where, the financial gain will come, but that's not what it's about at the moment. At the moment, it's just, if I can help one person release a bit of anxiety, release a bit of stress, help their workforce the same, because ultimately one person's great, but if I can do 1,000 people, even better. And it's just helping because it's within us. It's like you say, it's our soul. It's within. Everyone's got a laugh inside them, and I suppose, again, going back to that 1,000 people, like we've all sat in comedies where we've sat and watched a comedian, and we all, again, stand-up comedy is an art form in itself, and it's that whole suspense and how is everyone going to laugh. But as soon as one person laughs, that usually sets a ripple effect for everybody else to laugh. Or if you go to the cinema and you see a film, it's the same. Whereas actually, to be able to like have 1,000 people laughing, because it's not even, well, it is funny because you're laughing because they're laughing, and they don't know why they're laughing. You don't know why you're laughing, but you're laughing, and it's just this way amazing.
But isn't that brilliant? And then you extrapolate that out, because if you took those 1,000 people who then went home to their families, then you've at least 2,000 people you've affected. And then if you say it lasts for 24 hours and they go into their interactions for the next 24 hours, if you're in the entrepreneurial world the same, and your habits are very similar to mine, but what if people put laughter in their habits in the morning as well? What if that became something that people actually, I get up, I do my water, I do my hydration, I do my movement, I do my meditation, I do my journaling, I do my laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a difference that would make. I'm
honestly,
certainly going to start.
You should. Well, 8 o'clock every morning. That's 8, isn't it? Wait there, 5. Yeah.
Maths is not my strong point.
But 8 o'clock. So this is what happened again with so I said about the Daily Giggle channel, and I started. Well, someone did a set like on a Facebook laughter yoga groups in Facebook, and someone mentioned about, we should do an online laughter session. And I've got a video of me doing that first ever online laughter session for me. I was in my car, I was in Cornwall, we were camping, and I'd gone off. I was on my way to go surfing, and I'll send you the link, because I am falling out of the car. I'm just like completely I'm just high, I suppose. Again, just going back to that laughter, the buzz, and from that I was just like, I need to do this. I I can't just do this like once every now and then. And then so I joined forces with the 3 ladies, and 8 o'clock every morning, Monday, Friday, and then 9 o'clock on the weekends, we laugh for 10 minutes, and we just literally will zoom into each other. We laugh. We do different tricks. It's a bit like Simon Says, really. Pete says,
Yes.
So Pete does something and we copy it, and someone will do something that's really funny, or and then that just sets everything off. But what happens is, after those 10 minutes of laughter, what I was finding, especially when I was back in the office and working normally, I was creating then. Like I'd finish the laugh, and then I'd bang out an article, or I would edit something, or just everything was just stimulated in my mind. I was just amazing. I was just like, this is, if you could jar this up, and you can jar it up. That's the nice thing about it. It's just having that. It's just like, say, putting it into the habit. Like, say, it's just every morning doing it, and just being able to measure the difference as well. I think is a really important thing. And that, yeah.
I think that's brilliant. And I hope that everybody listening takes away just to try a little bit of laughter. And that breathing thing we did just then was so easy to do. I might do it in my team huddles before the day. That'd be good fun. Just to get, because if you say you carry that energetic level, every people that we deal with, then the hundreds of people that come through here a day, it's going to just affect their lives as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. So if you could leave our people with one sort of thing to think about, something to focus on, or exercise to do, what would it be?
I think it's got to be laughter. It's got to be laughter. And I just think it's next time, and it's hard. This is a hard exercise, but next time you're in that state change. So okay, a really typical example is if you're driving along, a bit of road rage, it happens to all of us, and or you're in a hurry and it's a red light. And again, imagine this, guys, you're driving along and it's a red light, you're in a hurry. So like you can either just go, oh, red light, or you can just sit back and you can just go and you can laugh off life, can't you? It's just like, it's, if it's someone that's driving past you who's in a bit of a hurry and that, you can't really finger waggle there because things might go a bit weird. But the point is, if you lighten your mind with laughter, then everything else is just light around you. And I think that's probably the one thing I would like to share with everyone.
Thank you so much. I feel so good. Like, I'll be honest, I've been in front of this screen all day and you've just lifted my energy right up. So I am so grateful to you for that. Where can people find you so you can help them, and those people who are listening in San Francisco can give you a call? Where can people find you?
Perfect. So best place to find me is my website, which is petecann.com.
And that's two ends, isn't it?
It's two ends, yeah. So yeah, petecann.com. Everything that I'm doing is on there. There's laughter links and everything. There's videos on there as well. And like I say, it will drive you to wherever you want to go. But just reach out, say, hey, I listened to you. I laughed with you on Tom's podcast with Dr. Tom, and that'd be amazing. I would love that so much. I expect that from you. Come and have a giggle with me. I don't bite, I promise.
I love it. Pete, thank you ever so much for being on the show today. I am so very appreciative of what you shared with me and what our audience will get with it. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom.
Right, let's stop. Now, when I press stop recording, it might, it's been having a habit of just getting rid of us, cutting us out. So thank you very much for doing that today, Pete. I really appreciate it. You've literally you changed the trajectory of my day. So thank you very much.
No, look, before you go, let's do a couple more laughing exercises. Let's get you properly there.
All right, let's do it. Okay,
yeah, really, right. Okay, so let's just do it. Just do a quick very good. So you go very good, yay! So
just very good. This is it's still recording, so this is going to be on YouTube. So I love it. Let's go.
very good, yay! And that's your power pose, yeah. You know Tony Robbins. Yeah. You know, yay, right? Okay. So we'll just do we'll do 4 laughs. Okay, so we've all got 4 laughs in us. The first laugh is a social laugh. It's like when we don't find something that funny, but we will laugh along, and that's a he comes from our neck. So let me hear you go. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and Perfect. Laugh number 2. Okay, laugh number 2 comes from the heart, gets the the heart pumping around the body, blood running, all that good stuff. Basically, endorphins will start spiking and everything, and that's more of a ha ha ha. So let's hear you go. Ha ha ha
I sometimes struggle to breathe.
Take a deep breath in, hold it, and we'll take another one then. Okay, so deep breath in, hold, and okay. So the third laugh is the ho ho ho, and that's the one that I said about being from the lungs. That's like your best Santa Claus laugh. So that's the
It's the laugh my niece does.
Very good. Yay! Yay! Perfect. Take one more deep breath, Tom. And hold it. And okay, fourth and final laugh then, and I'll leave you on this one. And this is the one that opens our minds up a bit more. And we've all got this. It's up here. And what you got to do, you got to get your arms up in the air like this, and we're just going to Put your hands on your heart like this. Hands on the heart. Up. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths in. So deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. Last one. And you're welcome.
Thank you ever so much. Have a blessed day, and we'll be in contact soon.
Yeah, definitely, Tom. Nice talking to you again, mate.